Whenever a wrestler is doing an interview backstage, there's one thing you'll never see, and that's the interviewer's feet. There's a good explanation, and I'll let Triple H show you why.
The big question is, why don't you wear shoes when you do these?
I don't have an answer for that.
John Cena breaks the fourth wall like nobody else, as you will see throughout this video. When the leader of the C Nation returned in 2023, he got a visit from Austin Theory. Cena roasted the United States champion so hard that he broke the fourth wall.
You know what? I'm not going anywhere, just like that bald spot on your head ain't going anywhere.
I would so much rather be bald than have them pipe in fake crowd noise for my matches because nobody cares.
In case you're wondering, yes, WWE actually does play crowd sound effects during matches. One thing that every wrestling fan knows is that in WWE, there are cameras everywhere. Sometimes there's a logical explanation for why a camera catches a backstage instant, like when a wrestler is getting interviewed. However, most of the time, wrestlers and fans are supposed to pretend like there isn't a camera following the wrestlers around. However, during Dean Ambrose's phase as an interviewer, he made a funny joke about this weird part of WWE.
This wasn't scheduled. No one told me about this.
Well, there's cameras in here. It'd be kind of weird if there were cameras in the locker room if we didn't have an interview.
Yeah, it would be weird if there were cameras in the locker room. On SmackDown in 2022, a six-pack challenge was set up, with the winner facing the SmackDown Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey, at Money in the Bank. Aaliyah was one of the participants, but she didn't come out when her music played. As it turned out, Shotzi had locked Aaliyah in the locker room, as well as someone else.
Shotzi locks Aaliyah and a camera operator in the women's locker room. She's unbelievable.
The biggest unanswered question in WWE history is who threw the pie at Kevin Owens. WWE later did an interview with KO, and while Owens didn't have an answer, he still managed to break the fourth wall.
WWE had this amazing technology on Monday night where you guys could actually see through my eyes what was happening, so everybody knows that when I turned, all I saw was a pie coming at me. Don't you remember that? When you saw through my eyes?
On the final Raw of 2010, Cena kicked off the show. This is nothing new, and John Cena actually pointed this out.
Yeah, you guys ever notice that every time somebody comes down that ramp for Monday Night Raw, they just get a microphone and talk about what happened last week? You know what? Tonight, I am going to do the exact same thing, because I'm a little bit upset about what happened last week.
Oh, come on, Cena. I think that's only happened on every single episode of Raw ever. Here's one thing that doesn't make any sense. When a champion issues an open challenge, why does only one wrestler answer? It's a free championship match, so wouldn't every wrestler want to accept it? Well, in 2023, we finally saw what goes on backstage when an open challenge is issued. On NXT, the North American champion, Wes Lee, had issued an open challenge. The cameras went backstage to reveal a ton of wrestlers all scrambling to try and be the first person in the ring. So that's what was really going on when John Cena had his weekly open challenge in 2015. Back in my day, SmackDown was on a Tuesday. Yes, before the Blue Show aired live on Friday nights, SmackDown used to be filmed on Tuesdays and would air a few days later. For example, when Dean Ambrose kicked off the June 11th, 2015 episode of SmackDown, it was broadcast on a Thursday. However, it was all filmed on Tuesday. Ambrose had Seth Rollins' WWE World Heavyweight Championship, but Rollins came out to reclaim his title. Dean then revealed it was a replica he bought at the merch table, and then said this.
Truth be told, I don't remember exactly where I left the real championship. The last few days have been a bit of a blur, and they all rolled into one. I mean, it still feels like it's Tuesday to me today.
I guess it felt like a Tuesday because, well, it was. It's always cool when from out of nowhere, a wrestler's theme song starts playing and they run into the ring to make a big save. However, it was never explained how the WWE production crew is able to hit the music right before the wrestler runs out. Well, in 2016, we finally found out how they do it. Seth Rollins is looking for his SummerSlam opponent, Finn Balor. The Raw general manager, Mick Foley, suggested Seth try calling out Finn from the ring. Seth agreed and headed out to the arena. Someone had to tell the production crew to play Seth's music, and this happened.
Hey, this is Raw General Manager Mick Foley. Will you hit Seth Rollins' music, please?
It's not uncommon for a manager or someone else to get banned from ringside as part of a WWE storyline. However, the person who gets banned always seems to still show up and interfere in the match. Well, finally, SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan decided to address this.
I don't know why this happens.
Okay.
Every time we ban somebody from ringside or we ban somebody from the arena, they always show up. Can we not afford good security?
There needs to be
we
some
are
other
a billion-dollar
steps.
company.
Yes.
For example, a fan who doesn't have a ticket
Yeah.
can't get in.
But look, I mean, when your face is kind of your security badge to get into the building, even when you're James Ellsworth, you're going to get in. Maybe all the security's just not being alerted to this.
I don't know. I think we do a fairly good job of alerting people. Either that or we need better alerters. We need better alerters and we need better security.
More alerters. We've got to get on this. But either way.
If you see something, say something.
Here's how you win the Royal Rumble. Don't get eliminated and try to eliminate as many other competitors as possible. It would make sense then, if you see one wrestler trying to eliminate another, that you should work together and get that person eliminated to better your odds of winning. Despite this, in every single Rumble match, wrestlers will save someone from being eliminated by attacking the person who is doing the elimination. It doesn't make any sense, but fans suspend their disbelief. However, during the 2023 Royal Rumble, commentator Corey Graves finally snapped.
I'm gonna vent for a second. What we just saw happens in every Rumble match and it drives me up a wall. If somebody's in the process of getting eliminated, why would you go and try to eliminate the person who's trying to eliminate the other person?
Well, because
it's stupid.
Well, you're trying to, I guess, add to your record, right? Or
no, it's about WrestleMania.
After turning face in 2003 and becoming a good guy, fans have been demanding that John Cena turn heel and become a villain again. Well, the night after WrestleMania 29, Cena gave the people what they wanted. Literally.
No, I got it. How about a little heel turn?
That's the closest we ever got to seeing John Cena turn heel again. The Undertaker normally wasn't one to break the fourth wall, given his character, but he did do it once. During a backstage interview, the dead man said this.
Well, listen to this, Rock. I want you to get your TV writers that write all your comedy stick for you and get them to write you a eulogy.
Undertaker was not lying. The Rock, like all WWE wrestlers, had writers come up with the stuff he said on the mic. Here's a little WWE secret. Whenever they need people to play security guards, medical staff, Adam Rose's Rosebuds, or stuff like that, WWE usually gets local wrestlers who haven't been on TV to play those parts. You'll even sometimes see the same person playing completely different roles. On Raw in 2014, Dean Ambrose got confronted by a group of security guards and made this comment.
I don't know though, are you guys real security? Because I could have sworn you were Rosebuds last week.
The contract signing is one of the most iconic WWE moments. This helps add drama and tension to any match, which is why we've seen it so many times. Of course, since it is wrestling, it's tradition that the two wrestlers end their contract signing by fighting. In 2011, John Cena and CM Punk were doing a contract signing for their match at SummerSlam, and the best in the world made this comment.
I mean, when's the last time we had one of these contract signings that didn't end in some sort of horrible physical calamity? We can flip the table over and we can all start beating each other up.
I'm happy to say the table did eventually get flipped over. Years later, we got another contract signing, this time between Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose. All of a sudden, Ambrose got up and started moving the table and said this.
We all know how this is gonna end anyway. I call dibs on the table.
In November 2006, Raw started with Ric Flair, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels taking on all 5 members of the Spirit Squad. Despite the disadvantage, the Game, HBK, and the Nature Boy were able to defeat the group of male cheerleaders. Afterward, Triple H and Michaels threw the Spirit Squad into a box that was being sent to OVW in Louisville, Kentucky. OVW stood for Ohio Valley Wrestling and was WWE's development system at that time. In real life, all the Spirit Squad members were going back to OVW for more training, so seeing Triple H and HBK do this was very meta. Okay, this fourth wall break comes from TNA or Impact Wrestling, but it's too funny not to include. So for a little while, whenever they showed a backstage segment on Impact, it was always filmed like the cameraman was hiding. That explained why wrestlers would talk openly because they didn't think anyone was there. Well, except for one incident.
It's 2 of us against 1 of you. You know what? The only witnesses is the cameraman. And I know I could kick his ass. ODB?
On SmackDown, Dean Ambrose was sitting in the ring when Kevin Owens interrupted. KO tried to pull a fast one on Dean, but in the lead up to their match at No Mercy, John Cena and Roman Reigns came.
It's called a promo,
Shut
kid,
your
and
mouth,
if you want
John.
to be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it, so go ahead. See ya, fourth wall!
Just like other people on TV, WWE wrestlers will sometimes write notes on their wrists so they remember what to say. When The Rock returned to WWE in 2012, he spent a lot of time talking in the ring, usually about his WrestleMania opponent, John Cena. During one episode of Raw, the camera caught notes written on the Great One's arm. John Cena later came out to confront The Rock. Cena said some pretty standard things about his opponent, but then he added this.
I don't need words like respect and loyalty to trend worldwide, just like I don't need my notes for my promo on my wrist.
Some people say that The Rock writing notes on his wrist was fake, and it was just to give John Cena something to roast The Rock with. However, that does not explain why Stephanie McMahon did the same thing. Find out what I'm talking about by hitting the video on screen.